Hi everyone, welcome back to my class that is a unique English class with Nilanjana ma'am, and I'm your host Nilanjana. In this class we are going to do voice change, an important chapter in your grammar syllabus. We all know that a sentence is made up of two parts, the subject and the predicate. The subject is the doer of the action. Now let's start voice. So we have two kinds of voice, and that is active voice and passive voice. So let's do the first one, active voice. Now in a sentence, when the subject is the doer of the action, that means the subject is playing an active role. He is doing the action himself. Then we call the verb to be in active voice. What is passive voice? In passive voice, the verb shows us that the subject is not an active doer of the action. Rather, the action is performed on the subject, or the subject is acted upon. That is your passive voice, right? Let's do some examples. So let's get started. First sentence, I know the boy. Here I is the subject. I know the boy. So this sentence, in this sentence, the subject is, he is doing something like I know the boy. So what action am I doing? The action is of knowing the object, that is the boy, right? So this is called an active voice, an example of an active voice. So let's turn this to a passive voice. So how do we do that? Right? So we start with the object. The object is the boy. So the boy is known to me. Now when you have a verb like know, then it is followed by the preposition to and not by. So we have to write the boy is known to me. So you see how we have changed know, the main verb know, which is in present tense. We have changed it to its third form, that is a past participle form, that is known. So the sentence becomes, so the passive voice sentence becomes, the boy is known to me. Yes. Sentence number two. For example, Shakespeare wrote Hamlet. Hamlet is a very famous play written by the great English 16th century playwright William Shakespeare. So Shakespeare wrote Hamlet. So the subject is Shakespeare. Your main verb is wrote, which is in the past tense. And what did Shakespeare write? Shakespeare wrote Hamlet. So Hamlet is our object. So this is a sentence in active voice because the subject is an active doer of the action. So who is the subject? Shakespeare. And what does he do? He wrote something. What did he write? He wrote Hamlet. So let's turn this to passive voice. Passive meaning the subject has to be acted upon, right? So we begin with Hamlet. So Hamlet was written by who? By Shakespeare. So that is your passive voice. So we have changed the main verb wrote to its third form, that is the past participle form, which is written. So Hamlet was written by Shakespeare. Right. Is it clear? Yes. Now sentence number 3. For example, the boy kicked the ball. The boy kicked the ball. So who is the subject? The boy. And what action is he doing actively? He is kicking the ball. He has kicked the ball. The boy kicked the ball. So in this sentence, the verb is supposed to be in the active voice because the subject is doing the action. So let's turn this to passive voice. So we have to start with the object. So what did the boy kick? He kicked the ball. So the ball was kicked by the boy. The ball was kicked by the boy. That is your passive voice, right? Now let's do a different type of a sentence. Now what happens when you have modal verbs? When you have modal verbs in the sentence just before your main verbs. So what do you do then? So let's take an example. And your first example is, he will write a letter. He will write a letter. So how do we do that? So here the subject is he. Will is a modal verb. The main verb is write. So he will write. What will he write? He will write a letter. So a letter is the object. So in this sentence, the verb is supposed to be in the active voice because the subject is an active doer of the action. He will write a letter. Let's turn this to passive voice. So we have to start with the object. The object is a letter. So we can write a letter will be written by him. Now, when you have modal verbs like will, can, shall, have, not have, definitely not have, can, could, shall, or should, or will, or would, or may, or might. So when we have these modal verbs, then you have to bring be. I repeat, you have to bring be. So let's do once more. He will write a letter. Passive voice will be a letter will be written by him. So you have to change the pronoun he to him because now the subject is not doing the action actively, rather he is acted upon. So he will write a letter becomes a letter will be written by him. Well, the last sentence for today is she can do that sum, or she can do this sum, or she can do the sum, whatever. So here the subject is she is and she is doing the action herself. She can do what? She can do the sum, or she can solve the sum, whatever. So let's take this sentence. She can do the sum. So this is an active voice. Let's turn this to passive voice. So to start with the object, she can do. What can she do? She can do the sum. So the sum can be done by her. The sum, then the modal verb can. Just after the modal verb, you have to write be, and then the past participle form, the third form, the verb's third form, the main verb. The main verb is do, and the past participle form of do is done. So the sum can be done by her. So it's quite simple. If you practice, it's really simple. So just one rule for today: if you have a modal verb, then you have to bring be, and be will sit in between the modal verb, then your be verb comes, modal verb, then be, and then your verb's third form, that is a past participle form of the main action verb. So that's voice change for you today. Please check out the things I add to this part of the video. Please check the entire video till the end. Please watch it till the end, and if you like it, do subscribe and do hit the like button. Ciao.